Hello, hello, hello. Hi, guys. How are you? It's cooler today. I went for a 6.5 mile bike ride. Sweating like crazy after that. I thought about jumping in the lake, but it was just a little bit like cooler. I knew how cool the water was yesterday. And tonight I have the door open. It just rained. I don't know what's happening. I don't want to say about our weather, But I hope you're all doing well. For those of you that were looking for the 2 o'clock interview today, it's tomorrow. I don't know what in the world. Usually when I did 2 or more in a week, they were on Thursday. I don't know why I was thinking. But it is Friday, tomorrow at 2 o'clock. I have to take Ethan to the doctor in the morning. He's got to get a shot for school. And then at 2 o'clock, I'll be doing that interview. And so that's already up. So we're ahead of schedule on that one, right? Okay. And that will be Friday, August 30th. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about the date. But anyway, that's what we're doing tomorrow. So the interview will be tomorrow. And I hope that you'll make it. Next up, I want to see that we are on our live stream. And we are. Can you hear me? Hi, Margot. All right, very good. So there's quite a few. I don't know why this is like whited out. I have no idea why that came out like that, but whatever there. There are quite a few really, really tragic things happening now. That husband and wife that you see with the house behind them. Excuse me, not husband and wife. Girlfriend and boyfriend. They were killed by the ex-husband. And that's out on Long Island. Then we're going to talk about Bryan Kohberger. He had a hearing on a change of venue. His team really wants him to get a change in venue. I think it doesn't really matter, right? Because his case is not just known in parts of Idaho, right? So that went big. I don't see what the change of venue is even about, but we'll talk about that. And then we're going to talk about a man that was shot and killed on a bridge in Maine after he had killed his wife and 8-year-old son. Terrible. And then we're going to talk about a YouTube chef who is also the son of a famous Spanish actor. And he was sentenced to life for murder. And we're going to talk about that. And of course, we're going to look at what's going on as the world of Gypsy Rose turns, right? So we're going to look at all of this. But let's start with which one do I want to start with? Let me see. Let's start with, I think, the Maine incident. Nah. Okay, now let's go to St. James, New York. And Danilo Cavalcante is the man that murdered allegedly his wife and her boyfriend. All right, so let's go over here. So here we go. Danilo Cavalcante. This is the ex-wife right there, Kelly Cavalcante, and her new boyfriend, who they say loved her very, very much, Kenneth Pohlman, Pohlman. Now, when this is the see here. So there's Kelly. And what happened was, this is really very crazy. He was described as a maniac, the ex-husband. He gunned down his ex-wife and her boyfriend inside their $1 million Long Island home on Wednesday. And his daughter was in the car. Now he's driving around, okay? He says that he told his daughter to stay inside the car. This was 21 Brasswood Road. So let's take a look at this scene. I'm going to pull it up here. Okay. Okay. So this is the house. So he's there, right? And they were sleeping. The ex-wife and her boyfriend were sleeping. It was about 11:45 p.m. The ex-husband, Danilo Cavalcante, was 50 years old, and so is his ex-wife, Kelly. Her new boyfriend was 53, Kenneth Pullman. They were sleeping in that house right there at around 11:45 p.m. So he tells his daughter, stay in the car, just 1 second. He left her in the car. He goes behind a bush, but he eventually broke down the door and he went up to their room and he killed them both. Okay? Then he got back in the car. And there's conflicting reports here because apparently the daughter was like, wait, something happened, and she was texting people. But now they're reporting that he came back and told his daughter, I killed your mother and Kenny. Then he fled and she was texting with friends saying, I don't know what my father did. I don't know how my mother is. As he's driving the car. So her friends called her mother. They were unable to get in touch with her, and they called 911. And then Danilo Cavalcante, the man that killed these two people, was arrested at his St. James home, which is about a mile away. And he was put under a mental evaluation because he was making statements about taking his own life. But he also has been charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder, according to the Suffolk County Police Department. The couple just finalized their divorce. See, here's the conflicting reports. I've been reading May. Now I'm reading a year or two, but I'm reading that there's been filings as recent as August 21st. So all of this stuff is coming in. You know, when something is breaking, there's a lot of things that have to be corrected or that are said wrong or purported wrong. So that's all we can do is kind of just go over what is out there. Police say there was no order of protection that was issued among the people in here, right? And that now Pullman's family, the boyfriend's family, referred to the former husband as an abusive maniac. And they said from what Kelly would say, he abused her. Now the brother of Kenneth Pullman, the man killed, Tom Pullman, told reporters that that his brother met Kelly after losing his wife to cancer several years ago. And his family said he was in love with Kelly. He wrote her romantic letters, which Kelly framed and had hanging on the bedroom wall. They shared a 6-bedroom, 4-bath, $1.1 million home. And the boyfriend was remembered as a great family man, an awesome workout buddy. He didn't show up at the gym that morning. I shot him a text and I got no answer. Now I know why. Her ex-husband shot down his door and ran upstairs and shot him and her point blank. How do you wrap your head around it? And this is what the door looked like. So that's the first thing there. And people are saying that people are cracking left and right. And I believe that too, you know. Pure awfulness, divorce, relationships ending, domestic violence. Just highly volatile, like powder kegs. Just need a fuse. Walk away, let it be. No man or woman is ever worth spending your life in prison or worse, taking their lives. Your life and everybody else's life around you end that day too. Just walk. Take some time. Get over things and just be. So, right. I mean, it's like murder is not the answer. You're going to be found out. You're ruining so many lives with that. It's just like, that's what I said. If there's public service announcements, it's got to be, you know, murder is not a solution to this. It's just, it's crazy. You know, but the sad thing is, in the comments on some of this stuff, there's people that are justifying this. Someone said, look, I'm not condoning this guy and what he did, but my brother went through something like this. He's never harmed his ex verbally or physically at all. I feel bad for him. He's kind of moved on, but was severely damaged financially and emotionally by the divorce. My ex-sister-in-law is an uneducated, bipolar, promiscuous mess. I never liked her. Anyway, she won the court battles, living in the home that my brother paid for, and is receiving alimony with my nieces, and has a revolving door of guys that take turns with her on a weekly basis. I guess what I'm saying is, sooner or later, what comes around goes around, unfortunately, to varying degrees of severity, as this article shows. Wow. Okay. Someone said, post things here, no one knows what the facts are. Unless you've lived with them round the clock, you really don't know what's happened either. So, what is this? So this is crazy. A man, did you guys hear about this in Australia? I didn't even... This is horrific. Horrific new details have emerged after a man allegedly poured hot coffee over a baby boy in a park in Australia. He fled the scene, there you see him, after allegedly pouring the coffee over the baby, who had been on a picnic with his mother in Hanlon Park in Brisbane on Tuesday afternoon around noon. The 9-month-old baby has undergone surgery for burns to his face and chest at Queensland Children's Hospital, and reportedly suffered burns to 60% of his body, including his face, neck, chest, and arms. How horrible. A friend of the mother, Zara Mazza, became emotional, saying that she was sitting down with her own son when she looked up and saw a man standing above her friend's baby. This man was standing above him, behind him, and poured a thermos of hot coffee over him. He just started screaming. Mazza said she tried to chase the man, but he was very fast, and she tripped while attempting to keep up. Essentially, all I could hear was his mom screaming that it's hot, it's hot, it's hot coffee. So I ran back, and as I ran back, I picked up my water bottle and I dumped it over him. I removed him from his mom, and we laid him down on the picnic rug, and we peeled his clothes away, which revealed the peeling of his skin. His skin had started to blister. Bystanders came over with water bottles to pour over the baby before a nurse in training offered up a shower at a nearby apartment so water could constantly be running on him. The ambulance came really quickly. I think it was within 5 minutes. Police, too. It was chaotic. It happened really quickly. The baby's mother is reportedly really traumatized. Do you think so? I bet you. After the incident, she's got a lot of anxiety right now. She's not been able to sleep very well, if at all. She's definitely struggling. Bub is in stable condition, and they say that he'll need regular dressing changes under anesthetic over the next few weeks. They don't know how long, but yeah, it's going to take a while. Let's see. This is really, really hard. I don't think any of us know what to say to you because we have never really seen anything like this and a host of a news program. Let's see, this is the baby. They don't say whether this man had anything to do with this child. CCTV footage shows a man who police say may be able to help with their inquiries running out of the park and along a residential footpath. And Zara Mazza posted something in a community group and said, myself and a friend were at a park on Lincoln Street with our babies today where a random man poured boiling hot liquid over her 9-month-old son and ran. Her son is currently in the hospital getting treated for severe burns. If anyone has CCTV footage or any footage of that area, please don't hesitate to hand it to the police. We really want this man to be caught and taken into custody. If anyone was there and saw this person, please get in contact with the police. Oh gosh, hopefully they find him. He was wearing a black and blue checkered long sleeve shirt, khaki colored shorts, black sneakers, and a black hat, and black framed reading glasses. Police describe him as 30 to 40 years old, of a proportionate build with tan skin. The little boy was taken to the hospital in stable condition. The family says they were traumatized and want the attacker caught. There's a GoFundMe page that's been launched to help cover medical costs for the baby. If you can help in any way by either donating or sharing, we'd love to raise some money towards any medical or household costs. Police want anyone who knows the man or with information about the incident to come forward. Very sad. Okay. So next up, we are going to talk about the Maine incident, okay? Let me just make sure that you guys are here. Hi there. Hi Painted Black. Hi 61. Hi Christine Micro. A total stranger. Yeah. Random man. Why? Why would a random man do that? Empty a thermos of hot coffee on a baby. That's crazy. Okay, I'm telling you, this world is really, I don't know what is going on. Hey, Frilly Farmhouse, how are you? Okay, everybody, let's talk about the next horrific thing, okay? People think murder is the answer. It's like beyond. People think, okay, maybe it's not, maybe it was this bad before, we just didn't have coverage like we do now. No, I think it's much worse. I'll have to do some research on that to see if that's true, but I just believe it's that people are really losing it. That they go to murder like just for any reason. The fast food is not hot enough. Somebody's taking too long in that line. It's just nobody has any patience, or, I shouldn't say nobody because it's not everyone, but it just seems that there are so many people that are just not acting in any way, shape, or form in an appropriate manner at all. Okay, so let's talk about this case. All right. Okay, so we are talking about an I-95 bridge where a man was shot. I'm going to put a picture of that up so we know what we're talking about. Over here in Maine. Okay. So a man who was shot and killed by police on the Interstate 95 bridge at the New Hampshire-Maine state line is believed to have murdered his wife in western New Hampshire overnight, and authorities said his 8-year-old son was also found shot to death inside his vehicle. The man was killed on the Piscataqua River Bridge on Thursday morning, and the New Hampshire Attorney General's office and state police put out a joint press release, which stated, they said the incident appears to have started when the man killed his wife at a home in Troy, New Hampshire, and then drove nearly 100 miles to the bridge at the Portsmouth, New Hampshire state line with Kittery, Maine. At the press conference, Colonel William Ross, chief of the Maine State Police, said York, Maine police received a 911 call at about 2:07 a.m. from a man saying he had been involved in a fight with his wife in Troy and that his wife was dead. New Hampshire State Police responded to the residence in Troy, and they found the dead woman. Around 2:30 a.m., Ross said police from Kittery, Maine, located the man's vehicle, which was parked in the middle of the Piscataqua River Bridge on the Maine side. Law enforcement from New Hampshire and Maine responded and tried to negotiate with the man, but those negotiations were unsuccessful. He then got out of his vehicle, he raised a gun, and at that point he was shot by the Maine State Police trooper Craig Nelson and 2 New Hampshire State Police troopers whose names have not yet been released. The man fell into the water beneath the bridge, and then he was recovered by the U.S. Coast Guard at 8:30 a.m. and declared dead. Law enforcement on the scene located an 8-year-old boy who had been shot to death in the back seat of that man's vehicle. Ross said police did not know there was a child in the back seat when they fired their guns, but the boy's death was not caused by the shots that were fired by those troopers. Based on the information we saw, it was very clear the officers involved in the shooting did not fire on the child. The man's shooting is under investigation by the Maine Attorney General's office. And Ross said the troopers involved have been placed on administrative leave pending that investigation per standard procedure. And I quote, "Please be patient with us. This is an ongoing investigation, and when we have more information, we'll be sure to get it to you," end quote. There are multiple cameras in use on the bridge to monitor traffic, but there is no record of the shooting because they are not set to record. Ross said the Piscataqua River Bridge was closed in both directions just after 2:30 a.m. for the safety of the public and reopened shortly after 9:30 a.m. Traffic was backed up on both sides as divers were diverted to 2 other bridges. Between 70 and 80,000 vehicles use the bridge daily. Photos from the initial crime scene on Monadnock Road in Troy, located in the western part of the state near Keene, New Hampshire, show a New Hampshire State Police major crime unit vehicle and several unmarked cruisers outside a townhouse complex in a wooded area. So this is the townhouse. Right there. A neighbor told a reporter from Boston that the family had just moved into the house a little over a month ago. Wow, so that's tragic. Now we're going to talk about let's see. Let me see here. Oh, there was a very big recall on I don't know if the listeria on boar's head, which are really usually like one of the better lunch meats or cold cuts, however you describe them in your neck of the woods. Because of listeria, there's some outbreaks. So remind me to go over that because that's really bad. Now let's go to the Kohberger before we go. Okay, I had everything I had to. All right, let's go over here. Bryan Kohberger, there was a hearing today because he wants a change of venue in order to get a fair trial. So let's talk about what's going on there. Let me get the graphic up so we know if we're going to do chapters or whatever, where we are. Okay, so the judge that is handling the capital murder case of Bryan Kohberger, again, if you don't know who Bryan Kohberger is, I don't think there's probably anybody here that doesn't know who he is, but he is charged with the murder of 4 University of Idaho students in that off-campus housing. And the judge has held back from making a decision on where the trial should take place, and that comes after a full day of arguments and expert testimony. So the judge, whose name is John Judge, said, and I quote, "I would say this is probably professionally the most difficult decision I've ever had to make. Just before concluding the nearly 6-hour hearing, the judge said he would hold off on issuing a decision in court. Both the defense and the prosecution demonstrated really solid positions," the judge said. "I'll do my best. It's a challenge. That's probably all I should say at this point, but I listened carefully all day, and I thought there were some really important things to think about from both sides." Kohberger's defense team is led by Ann Taylor, and she wants to move his murder trial to the courthouse in Boise, about 300 miles south of Moscow, the Idaho state's capital city. Situated in the state's largest county, and she said it will give Kohberger his best shot at an unbiased jury pool following a deluge of prejudicial media coverage against Bryan Kohberger, her client. And she said, and I quote, "Mr. Kohberger has a constitutional right to a fair trial by an impartial jury, and to guarantee that the court must change venue." Ann Taylor told the court, "Your Honor has to look at the context of the media and know that there hasn't been positive stories about Bryan Kohberger. It's all negative. It's negative stories." The Latah County has become utterly corrupted, which has created a mob mentality within the community. Bryan Kohberger's defense team argued in court filings that led up to Thursday's in-person showdown on the venue change issue. Results from a phone survey about a high-profile case conducted by hired trial consultants prove it must be moved elsewhere. Unquote. The defense was backed at the hearing by testimony from 4 expert witnesses who specialize in jury selection, media analysis, surveying, and personal bias through the lens of social psychology. They all came to the same conclusion. The impacts from news reports and social media about the case make Moscow an unsuitable location for Bryan Kohberger to be tried for these murders. It's continuous. It's every day. Social media, books have been written. Primetime television shows have appeared on the case. It just doesn't stop. And you know this is prejudicial coverage. Prosecutors oppose the move. They don't want Bryan Kohberger's trial to be out of Moscow. They countered Thursday that Bryan Kohberger's defense has not met the burden required by Idaho law to justify a venue change. Their expert survey data fell within the margin of error and showed that an impartial jury was just as likely to be found in Moscow as it would be in Boise, where the defense prefers the trial be held. Ingrid Beatty, a special assistant to the Idaho Attorney General's office and prosecutor on the case, said the pervasive media coverage across the entire state has simply created some complications and difficulties. Those are not unique to Latah County. The more productive conversation to have is, how can we craft questionnaires that will ask jurors factual questions that help us identify sources of bias? Prosecutors intend to seek a death sentence for Bryan Kohberger if he's convicted. Any possible challenges to the death penalty are scheduled for a court hearing in early November. And then it said, but to land 18 qualified people, 12 jurors, and 6 alternates, the court could just as easily call an expanded jury pool of 1,800 residents of Latah County rather than move the trial all the way south to the Ada County Courthouse in Boise. The question is, which community is the most likely to give Mr. Kohberger a fair trial? We believe those can be dealt with through other measures short of venue change. The decision is left to the judge, and should he choose to grant the defense's request to move the trial, he would stay with the case until he opts to withdraw on account of the venue change under the Idaho criminal rules. Now, the parents and brother of Kaylee Gonsalves attended Thursday's hearing, and they previously stated their desire for the trial to remain in Moscow. They live about 100 miles north of Moscow in Rathdrum, which is in Kootenai County. It was a long day, but we hope that he keeps it here or says Kootenai County, said Christy Gonsalves. We'd be good with that. Their family would still plan to attend the hearing, even if the judge chooses to move the trial as far away as to Boise. Steve Gonsalves told the media that they are joined by some of the other victims' families in their preference to keep the trial in Moscow. He said, though, he declined to identify which ones. They also feel that the community that was insulted should have a say in who's held accountable, Steve Gonsalves said, but moving it to Boise doesn't benefit anyone. Earlier in the day, the judge abruptly paused the hearing on the trial's potential change of venue after an expert witness for the defense in a presentation showed content from social media in court. Brian Edelman, the founder of the California-based jury consultancy Trial Innovation, showed Facebook posts in the courtroom during his testimony, and Edelman searched Moscow murders on the platform, and he shared a screen recording of him scrolling through the results. You can see the extent of content that's out there from groups that are just talking about this case and sharing information and discussing what they think happened, and videos and posts which may include anything from influencers and podcasters to sharing traditional news stories through local newspapers or television stories. Now, a large number of Facebook groups posts, videos appeared on the screen, many of which use sensationalized language or they speculated about the case details. The judge then stopped Edelman, paused the hearing, which was live streamed to the public through YouTube. I don't think we need to advertise all these, honestly, Judge said. We've been trying to protect from this kind of stuff. I'm aware of it. I don't look at it. I don't read it. Kohberger's lead public defender asked for a break to discuss the situation privately. After a 30-minute in-chamber meeting between the two sides, the hearing resumed. A deal was brokered to continue, but not broadcast. The private court presentation became about 25 minutes of the hearing that considered prejudicial materials to Kohberger and could further spoil the local jury pool if it disseminated to the public. It's kind of a compromise, the judge said. We just thought that there are certain things that maybe we don't want to send out to the public. I don't necessarily know what it all is, but I need to look at it and see it. Okay, that's that. Now we're going to talk about this YouTube chef. See how you guys are doing. I bet Brian loves seeing that. Oh, all the Facebook stuff? Yeah, probably. Don't murder anyone, no trial. Right, Oliver. High 61 says, yes, it's called reporting on the case. Next, the judge will drop the case. What a joke. Christine says, if they said what they have on him is real, it's really not going to matter. For example, if they got that Amazon purchase of the K-bar. Yeah, I mean, plus the DNA and all of that stuff. Yeah. The judge is making things way too complicated, High 61 says. Okay, so let's go on to our next story, which is about this YouTube chef. Okay. So it's a court in Thailand on Thursday found Daniel Sacho Brauchalo, a member of a famous Spanish actor's family. Second, and move this here. I'll make it the graphic up here, okay? I'm just going to have to go over. Let me get you his photo. Okay, so here he is. Coming up over here. Okay. And this is in Thailand. Didn't we have something else we were talking about in Thailand? Oh, no, I know what that was. Okay. Okay, there he is. So, Daniel Sancho Bronchalo, a Spanish YouTube chef, was sentenced Thursday to life in prison for a horrific murder and dismemberment in Thailand. The case was documented in a Spanish-language HBO documentary. Sancho is the son of a prominent Spanish film and television actor Rodolfo Sancho and Silvia Bronchalo. They have crew credits and is reported to have acted as well. The judgment was announced in the court and related to a case in which Sancho was accused of murdering a Colombian surgeon, Edwin Arrieta Ortega, chopping up his body and disposing of his body parts. The two men were on a holiday at a nearby island known for its full moon rave parties. The court initially sentenced Sancho to death for the premeditated murder of Arrieta, but it reduced the sentence to life imprisonment as he cooperated with the court. Sancho claimed that he and Arrieta had got into a fight after Arrieta had tried to essay him. Sancho said Arrieta had hit his head on a bathtub and died. Sancho pled not guilty to premeditated murder. He acknowledged that he dismembered Arrieta's body and scattered his body parts on land and sea. He received a 4-month prison sentence reduced to 2 months. Additionally, he received a 2-year jail sentence for destroying Arrieta's passport, a charge which he denied. The Associated Press agency reports that Thai police obtained surveillance video that showed Sancho allegedly purchasing a knife, purchasing rubber gloves and garbage bags, along with cleaning solutions at a convenience store right before Arrieta's death. The prosecutor said that supported the charge of premeditated murder. And I quote, "I am sorry that a life has been lost and that parents have lost a son," said Sancho in his closing remarks to the court. According to the Spanish language El Pas newspaper, he said, "I am sorry that his family was not able to bury him properly. I'm sorry for what I did after his death." Both of his parents were in court on Thursday to hear the verdict. Let's see what else we have here. I wonder what the real reason is that he killed this man, right? Tragic. Indianapolis man. What is this about? A 19-year-old man from Indianapolis been convicted of fatally shooting 3 young men along a path in Indianapolis? Wow. What's up with that? Marion County jury convicted Caden Smith on Friday of 3 counts of murder and other charges, including robbery and dangerous possession of a firearm, following a 5-day trial. Caden Smith of Indianapolis was 16 years old in October of 2021 when a police officer found Joseph Thomas, 18, Michael James, 22, and Abdullah Mubarak, 17, shot to death on a path lined by tall grasses on Indianapolis' south side. He was charged as an adult in the murders. The Marion County Prosecutor's Office said Monday in a statement that Smith was identified as a suspect through his communication with the 3 victims prior to their murders. Investigators learned that he had taken the victims to a field to demonstrate a gun conversion device known as a Glock switch that can make a semi-automatic weapon fire like a machine gun. That really wasn't what he was doing. When he was arrested, investigators found the murder weapon in his residence. Abdullah, Joseph's, and Michael's families will never be able to see them grow up or live their lives. The verdict solidifies that Smith will likely spend the rest of his life in prison for these crimes he committed, said the prosecutor Ryan Mears. Smith's sentencing date has not been set as of Monday morning. His attorney did not immediately return a message seeking a comment on Smith's convictions. Wow. Oh my gosh, remember that guy that was on the run in Pennsylvania? When was it? Last year for 2 weeks? He is now facing plea hearing. Remember that guy? What was that guy's name? It's Danilo Cavalcante. Remember that? Everybody was out there looking for him. And he was found in a log pile or something. Remember that? Well, looks like he's going to get a plea deal. The convicted killer was captured last year after 2 weeks on the run in southeastern Pennsylvania's rolling farmlands, and he's due in court Friday, tomorrow, for a potential plea on the escape charges. Danilo Cavalcante, a native of Brazil, escaped from a Chester County lockup while waiting to be transferred to state prison to serve a life sentence for killing his ex-girlfriend. He escaped by crab walking up a wall in a jail exercise yard, and then he climbed onto razor wire and jumped from a roof. His lawyer, Lonnie Fish, declined to comment on the case Thursday or say if a plea deal has been reached. Senior Deputy Attorney General Christopher Phillips said he would not know until the hearing if an agreement had been finalized. Cavalcante had been convicted of killing an ex-girlfriend, Deborah Brandeo, to stop her from telling police about charges against him in connection with a 2017 slaying in Brazil. While on the run, he stole a truck from a dairy farm after finding the keys inside and survived by stealing food, clothing, and other items from people's homes. With residents of Chester County increasingly on edge, one homeowner found the fugitive in his open garage, stealing a knife, and they fired several shots at him with a pistol, but they missed. Cavalcante was on the run still for 2 more days before he was captured early one morning by searchers using a plane's thermal imaging from above and canine search dogs on the ground. Cavalcante is already serving a life sentence without the chance for parole. Any sentence on the new charges, which include escape, burglary, and trespass, could be running concurrent with the life sentence or consecutive to it if the life sentence is overturned. The schedule of Friday afternoon comes after nearly a year August 31st, 2023 is when he escaped from the Chester County prison. Okay, so let's go now to, let's see what we still need to take care of on our thumbnail, right? Let's see. So we don't want any clickbait, I'll tell you that much. So we've gone over the Long Island, we've gone over Bryan Kohberger, we've gone over the YouTube chef, and we've gone over the man who was shot on the bridge. We've also had additional stories. Danilo Cavalcante in court tomorrow. We've gone over that. And I think there was another story. But let's now turn our attention, if we will, to Gypsy Rose. Now, there was a lot of talk about certain things like missing from a court case text, and people are reading so much into that, and they really shouldn't be, okay? Because there can be many reasons for that. So I would say just don't even think about it, and just, there's a lot of things that could be, and a lot of people are thinking like, oh, you know, whatever, she's going into whatever, she's going to go to prison and yada yada yada, back to prison. But no, I don't think so. So I wouldn't get crazed with it right now, okay? Don't do it. It's not good. It looks silly. Don't do it. All right, let's see what's going on with Gypsy Rose Blanchard. She is supposed to be attending a family reunion, right, that her dad is throwing. She said that when she was at the pool at the time that Keenan didn't want to come on camera. So, yeah, let's look at the family reunion. She's going to have a family reunion in the woods and in a cabin. Okay, the Blanchards are having a reunion. Oh boy. So let's see what we can see now. And then she's going to be going for an anatomy scan, because she'll be 20 weeks next week. All right, so let's see what we got here. Who's going to be in this reunion, right? See if we can. There's some things that, like, how Ken got in the picture, right? He was a prison pen pal or something. And he, she needs time to herself to get to know life and such. And then he began an affair with her, got her pregnant. Come on. But I just believe 100% that was motivated by the series and the money. He said in one of the episodes, it said that he didn't think she was going to be that popular or famous. I forget what word he used when she got out. Okay, so interesting. Let's or the other one. I'm trying to see. Christie seems to be the main reason that Ken returned. Why the fascination with Gypsy attracted so many men to be writing to her? Well, it's not just Gypsy. It's people that kind of look or seek out those kind of relationships. There's a lot of different reasons. There's a lot of books that have been written about why people do that. You see it with a lot of women doing it with men, vice versa, and even same-sex people writing. So, yeah, let's see now. Yeah, it's not a new thing. People have been writing even to serial killers. There's a fascination. Okay, but people are saying like Gypsy looked and behaved like a child during the trial, and evidence photos that were of her. So they're saying, well, why are these people like even looking at this childlike person, right? So. Hybristophilia is a paraphilia involving an interest in attracting those who commit crimes. Okay, I don't think Ryan wanted someone to be dependent on him as much as he wanted someone who would stay with him, someone's saying. I don't think he sought a young person. I think he thought she was a sweet girl who would appreciate his less than perfect self because he knows full well that he's not what women would traditionally consider a catch. He was the nice guy who was trying to mend her broken heart from Ken. It's interesting to recognize the Perusal as gross and creepy when it's Ryan, but fail to see it with Ken. I believe there is a psychological phenomenon that explains it. It's called the halo effect. You don't find Ken as unattractive as you do Ryan, so you haven't assigned the negative qualities to him that you have to Ryan, even though what he's done is exactly the same, if not worse. Given Ken appears to be parasitic, it's entirely likely that the motives were even more insidious than Ryan's. He discarded Gypsy until she could again serve a purpose for him. If you're curious why he dipped out for a bit, it's because he was entertaining the idea of better host. Again, he's a parasitic person in nature. He knew he could leave her. He knew he could leave her hanging and waiting until he decided to circle around back if he needed to. He took some time to hover her back in from time to time to ensure that he still had her waiting for him. And then he deployed his flying monkey Christie when his access was blocked. He presents himself as her Prince Charming in this fairy tale she spun, which really he is just an average looking guy with narc traits and patterns. Okay, let's see. What I don't get is how Christie is always saying Ken was her first true love and serious relationship. I feel like some random pen pal and prison visits don't equate a serious relationship, so it's odd that she calls him that. Gypsy has never been on her own. She's very needy, and as Ken mentioned, is codependent. She needs major therapy and to be on her own for a while. She's very immature, very. Very, very, very. Okay, hi there, Oliver. So, of course, they had to give it a name. I'll never remember. Yeah, her husband is working as a lineman in Greeley, and she works here in Washington, and their house is here on his parents' ranch. But stay with us so we can. Oh, wait a minute. You're talking about something else? Oh, you're talking. I thought you were talking about something. Oliver. You got me interested in that, Oliver. What, Christine? What did Oliver? Supposed to be a big family secret coming out about Ken's family. Well, I've been trying to research that a little bit about Ken's family. We know Ken has a sister. We know Ken's got a mother, right? We don't know a lot about Ken. And what about Ken, all of his, suddenly not wanting to appear on camera at all? Like maybe he's having second thoughts of all this stuff. Let's see, what does it mean that? Doesn't that mean he's a loser with low self-esteem? I don't know. Someone also told me that Ken was incarcerated and wrote to Gypsy. I don't know. I know Ken has a mugshot flying around out there, but I don't really know how long he was, if he was, how long an incarceration or anything like that. So I don't know. But I was looking into Ken a little bit and just trying to see, what he's doing. And now he lives. What's going to become of that living arrangement when he is living down there near New Orleans, which she is saying is about an hour from which she is. And yeah, I mean, I don't know who's going to find out more about that. There's more coming out about him. I don't know. It's a lot of things about Ken are very, which I'm shocked, kept undercover, like the ex-girlfriend. And now you have some, I think it's 2 that I've seen, content creators that say that there was supposed to be a special done with Gypsy on their channel, and they were going to have this, well, they did start to expose these messages that were sent to a few creators of Gypsy messaging them and asking them basically to out somebody's identity. And I mean, in the past, we've talked about Ken's family. Right now, like I can just see the mother, the sister, they're in New Orleans. Gypsy's in cut off. I think it's like an hour and a half. So what's going to happen when this baby gets closer and closer? Is she just going to veg out and not worry about things, or what's going on? Because something's like got to give, right? If it's close to the time that could go into labor, she's not going to want him an hour and a half away. So what's going to happen? Is the parole officer, going to allow her to either spend more time with Ken, but then she's probably delivering in a hospital near cutoff? So is that going to mean that he moves closer? I thought he was supposed to move closer. I thought he was supposed to move closer to her. That's what I thought. I think she's actually going to start maybe looking for a McMansion, maybe move the whole Blanchard family. I don't know how attached they are to that house they have, because maybe they'll buy a McMansion for the Blanchard family and make it a Blanchard compound somewhere. You know, I don't know. What do you think? Who knows? Who knows? But that Ken would be able to move in and they would have, she's probably thinking of that because she did mention the idea of a big house when she was with Ryan and was saying that, you know, her money should be there and they should be able to do this, and this would have been a good thing to do. So in my opinion right now, I mean, what is this going to, you know, something's got to resolve itself. So they're either going to let Ken, maybe they'll all get something together. But again, I don't know if Rod or Christy is like really attached to wherever that is they live there and wouldn't either want to buy a house that's already built or design one to build, because they're in a good market now to do that, and they would have more space and all that stuff. And then, but that would be, you know, her money being used. They'd have to get it out of all those different accounts and use it. But I thought Ken was supposed to be moving closer to her. Baby will get dumped on Christy and Rod. Exactly what they said they didn't want, right? That's exactly what they said they did not want. I don't know. I mean, you guys have any, does anybody know the identity, or has anybody, I don't want you to put her name out there, okay? I shouldn't say that. Does anybody know anything about Ken's ex-girlfriend? Does anybody know anything about her? Because how were they able to keep this girlfriend under so much lockup? It's like they already, this is what it reminds me of. It's like they already cleaned up Ken before he was even back in the picture, which makes it very, very scripted, right? Yeah, I don't know. Does anybody have any idea where, you know, somebody thought I saw a message passed by Gypsy herself where she was trying to write to creators. I think I was in the middle of telling you that and I didn't get finished. She was writing to creators, and it seemed like in these messages what she was trying to get them to do was to release the identity of Ken's girlfriend in order to prove Ken was not gay. Because there were stuff, hold on, I'm just getting something, hang on. I'll be right there. I've just got to get a drink. Hold on 1 second. But there was something to the effect that people were going on and saying Ken was fooling Gypsy and that he was gay. So she was trying to help him out. She was trying to help him out. And she can't, she's not allowed to be, I don't think it's a good look for her PR team if she was over there releasing stuff like that. So I know if, I believe it was 2 creators she went to, tried to disseminate this information so that somebody could clear up Ken's sexuality. Right? You don't know who it is. They're, hi, Joanne Smith. So that's what she was doing. But what I'm trying to say is, for Ken to have like no social media, not much of a social media footprint, like with other partners and stuff out there, I think it's interesting. It sounds like a good deal of damage control has gone through there already. What do you think? Hi, Joanne. Because I've been trying to do a little research. This just proves that Gypsy is trying to get people to do her dirty work on the internet again. She literally scares me. Yeah, she is. I mean, she is trying to get things. But, you know, I'm surprised that Ken's girlfriend, if she is out there, hasn't even come forward for her 15 minutes of fame, even to sell a story to TMZ or something, right? I'm surprised. And how do we know it's true? Like, how do we know the person that she was going to tell or told the name of was truly Ken's girlfriend and not some decoy? But Oliver, have you seen anything about a girlfriend, like pictures or anything? Quite possible coming from Gypsy. Who knows when it comes to them? They are really sneaky. So I don't know. We don't know. I do think it's strange, though. Like, why is it so under wraps? How do they have that locked up so tight? It was a long relationship, wasn't it? Did someone mention like 5 years or so? That it was a long relationship. So in all that time, when you have them out there somewhere, possibly a decoy, Joanne is saying that's what I said. Is it a decoy? And kind of knowing that this ex-girlfriend wouldn't be angry or anything, because we know Gypsy is a very jealous person, right? Panini Press. So if she wants to put that out there, and she wants to put this woman out there, wouldn't she be afraid that maybe Ken would be going back to her? For sure, after 5 years, I'd be selling it. Okay, Kristen, yeah. I'm smelling something that, you know, it smells not good. I don't really believe it. I'm sorry. I'll tell you why. First off, it's coming from Gypsy. It's initiated by Gypsy, and allegedly. Let me see if I can find a message floating around. Let me see. Okay, so hang on. Gypsy. Let me get a graphic up here so we know we're talking about Gypsy and Ken here. It's raining. It's raining very. Now the rain's coming down. If anything should happen and I lose power, then you know what happened to me. Okay. All right, so let's put a photo of Gypsy and Ken. Uh-oh, hold on. Hold on. Okay. I'm just shutting down some of these other pictures. Okay, so let's go back and see if we can find any of these. Okay, so back 4 months ago, it said that, let's see what it's saying about it. Gypsy? Ken's sister confirmed, someone said, 5 months ago this was said, Ken's sister confirmed he recently split from his partner who apparently had just moved out. Guarantee Gypsy had this all planned and is pathetically blaming Bryan. Like he didn't like her spending time with Dad. You're committed. You try to work out those teething problems that are bound to arise from the history they have. Gypsy used him and threw him away. It's my opinion. Okay, so they're saying that Ken's sister confirmed it. I don't know about that. Let's see here. Her ex-fiance, she was engaged to him prior to Ryan. He broke up with her. She seemingly had unresolved feelings. Okay, let's see what else we've got. It's a common thing when people get married and one person in the relationship is incarcerated for the entirety of that relationship that you don't really know your partner because they've been incarcerated. You can't build a relationship in a normal way, and then once they're out, stuff can go sideways because you really didn't know them. It's already a big adjustment for a person to get out of prison and adjust to a normal life, especially for a unique situation like Gypsy, where she didn't have a normal life prior to incarceration. That can take a toll on a marriage. Wouldn't be quick. That's judgment on the poor guy. Maybe things just didn't work out. I'm not just finding stuff on that girl. Okay. Okay. She and Ken split in 2019, but remained friends even after they broke up. So, then was he with a person from 2019 until 2024? Let's see this. Now here's something. Gypsy Rose Blanchard remembers the day that she fell in love with Ken Urker. Okay. When was that there, Gypsy? She remembers the day. Let's see. Okay. Sorry guys, my feed is jumping a little bit. I'm waiting for something. All right. When did I know he was the one? She said probably the day I met him back in 2017. They dated for 2 years before they split up. It wasn't until I filed for divorce that I kind of really realized that the connection with Ken is even better than I expected. And we've grown a lot. I've matured. He's grown. And so I think right now is the time in our lives that it's the right time, the right place, the right everything. Except you're married to someone else. Gypsy and Ken first met through a prison pen pal program, and they got engaged in October of 2018, but they called it quits in the summer of 2019. And the reason for their breakup, Gypsy said, will be revealed on her upcoming Lifetime docuseries Gypsy Rose Life After Lockup. In 2020, Ryan wrote to Gypsy when she was in prison, starting a correspondence between them that would blossom into a relationship and a 2-year marriage. But as she told the media, unfortunately, that wasn't working out. In March, 3 months after she was released from prison, Gypsy announced that her and Ryan were separating. And then days later, she was spotted out with Ryan, and she even sent the pictures. She was spotted out with Ken and then sent the pictures to Ryan. Ken and Gypsy were out together at a Dollar General in their home state of Louisiana. And after that, she filed for divorce from her estranged husband, which led to an epiphany for Gypsy that Ken was the one. They rekindled their romance, and they made it official on April 30th. After reconnecting earlier this month, we realized that our love for each other is simply undeniable, and life is too short to not take a chance. We have a history that made for the perfect foundation for a new beginning. So, hi there, BB Diamond. I should be asleep, but I just can't help myself when it's Gypsy. Hold on, I can't see that. That heart thing is in BB Diamond. That heart thing is in the way. Hold on, let me just do this so I can see. Okay, when it's a Gypsy mess, though. Do you know anything about his fiance, BB Diamond? Like, do you believe his fiance really exists, or do you think Gypsy invented this whole thing in order to, hi, it's Bink, in order to cast Ken in a better light, that because people thought he was gay, and she wanted to say no, he had a girlfriend. Hello, misbehaving. Hi, it's Pink. Hi, Painted Black. Okay. He never looks like he's into her, though. I agree with that, Oliver. He's not into her. He's not. Ken is back for the dollar bills thing. That's what he's back for. I think he feels like, wait a minute, I was the guy that, I was before Ryan and this and that, and that's my place in that life after lockup. I should be getting a piece of that action. Hi, Evie. And I think that's what that's all about. You love the rain, Painted Black? He's trapped and very unhappy. Yeah, he's not even wanting to be in her videos. But does anybody know? Okay, I'm going to take a poll, okay? Because I think it's easier. Hello, it's Pink. Let me do a poll about the girlfriend. Okay, I hope you understand that. Do you think Ken's former girlfriend, the one that Gypsy was talking about, is a real ex-girlfriend, or do you think she's someone that was created for a decoy? Have you seen any pictures of them misbehaving? Anything? And do you know, was it that they were together for a number of years? And I just find it... Gypsy already doxed her. Okay, but then knowing how the internet works, why aren't there a whole bunch of pictures of them? Do you know what I mean? Where are all the pictures? Where's all, like, how long was he dating her? Five years. That's what I heard. Yeah, this is all old news. But you know what? I don't think it's news at all because it's not out there. Gypsy's messages are out there. Where is the woman? This would still be on social media. There would still be pictures and there would still be references. Why is it? Who cleaned it up? Who cleaned it up? Why onto the tabloids? Why hasn't she sold her story? Why hasn't she come forward? Something to me. Where? Can you send me a link, Misbehaving? You know my email. Can you send me a link to anything? I'm not talking about a Reddit post that mentions his girlfriend. I'm talking about a real tangible stuff where you can see that Ken is with this woman that had been with her for 5 years. Because I can't see it. And I've been looking. So, it's odd. Very, very odd. Very odd. Hey there, Pink Victors. I thought Gypsy tried to do her by sending info to creators, but if no one would put it out there, okay, Gypsy, as always, tried to get other creators to do her dirty work. I already did my research on this, and I'm telling you, there's information about the girlfriends, but that's not what I'm talking about. Anybody can say anything. What I'm trying to say is, I am not finding the evidence of a 5-year relationship with post photos, tangible stuff. Do you understand? I know what I saw her messages. I saw her messages. It was a name. That's not what I'm saying. I think it was a decoy. I don't think you understand what I'm saying. Yes, I know it was a month ago that the names were released. I'm telling you, I think it was a decoy. That you're missing what I'm talking about. Okay, forget it, misbehaving. You don't even understand what I'm saying. You really don't. You're missing the point here completely. Okay, he was with her for 5 years. Why did it break up? Well, the stuff I'm seeing was released in the last few days. It's been re-brought up by those creators. It's not months ago what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is this has been re-released and re-talked about by those creators again. And it's not months ago. The post is from 24 hours ago. Amicably. Okay. What I'm trying to say is when you search and when you look at things about Ken, Ken's mouth, he's a liar because he believes also things about Nick Godejohn that are not true. He hasn't watched the interrogations. Ken's own mouth is a liar. I think Ken lies more than Gypsy. Yeah, Christine, Ken is a liar. They were living together in Texas. Okay. Why didn't he move closer to Gypsy? Why is he living an hour and a half away from Gypsy? So many things here are so suspect with this entire thing. Now he doesn't want to appear on her videos. She said, and misbehaving, I didn't say that. I said Ken is a liar. I say Ken is a liar. He was living with his mom, I thought. See, and I heard about his mom too. There's too much going on that is not clarified, and I think there are decoys being put out there to explain certain things. Because he's freaking miserable. Well, if he's so miserable, he can walk away. What he's back here for is money. Okay? That's why he's back with Gypsy. Ken's not trustworthy. He rekindled a relationship while she was married. Oh, well, yes, it's true, Joanne. And we know why he did that, too. That was because, I believe, he was thinking, wait a minute, I'm the first person to contact her via, letters. How did Ryan get to move in here, literally, bring his stuff here, and, just move in on this when this could be my fame and fortune? If I hadn't been so hasty, right, and broke up. So I think he's trying to move in for what he thinks is rightfully his. That's what I think. 100% there. Because that's a bunch of crap. That's a bunch of crap. It's not being investigated. because something's not on case text, because she now lives in another state, that doesn't mean she's being investigated. Things get moved off of case text. That's not a record. That's not a something that holds records for an indefinite amount of time. It's not the way that works, and people don't understand this. There's a lot of people that are looking at this that don't understand discovery, don't understand court files, and they think that, oh wow, this means something. It doesn't. So this whole thing is fake like real celebrities do, or is it just like Ken being shady? I don't know. I don't know. Well, that's why I'm trying to say I find it odd. If he had a 5-year relationship with this other woman, I find it odd. Okay. It was all... Okay. Can I tell you, misbehaving, I hate to tell you, verification is not a makeup vlogger playing a news clip. Okay? When you say things were confirmed, right, no grand jury coming. Okay, I'm so out of the loop, misbehaving. Okay, yeah. Again, you're not upsetting me because this is not my first true crime case. It's not, and I don't go off of TikTok and being panini pressed and stuff like that. Okay, so there is a grand jury. Okay, all right. And I don't know if you're around for the Watts case, but people swore up and down, backwards and forward, that Shanann Rusak had multiple arrests, and they were pulling files for Shanann Watts, and they swore up and down and sideways that this was her. And you know what? It was nothing but complete BS. It was something else. This happens all the time in cases like this because people want so badly for something to be true that they make it true. I'm way behind. Okay. So I guess she'll be in, want to put a wager on this? She's going to be back in prison tomorrow is what you're thinking? If that's what you're thinking. Okay, you just keep saying things are proven, and then you mention beauty bloggers. I don't need to. See, because there are no sources on that now. You're saying that it's been proven, but it hasn't. You have a beauty blogger that's saying something. That's not fact. These people that say they have sources worry me. Yeah. Sources that they can't name, and you can have any source or an insider, just like that fake insider, and I will say that person is fake, from Habitat for Humanity, because the facts don't add up. You believe that woman that went on a panel and said she was from Habitat for Humanity with all that crap? Then apparently you haven't been around these streets and around a lot of true crime cases, because this happens all the time and they're fake people looking for 15 minutes of fame. I'm sorry that you don't see that. And if there was a real source of confirmation, you would have no problem citing that source. But you're not. You're saying that I didn't watch this video or that video, and that's not a confirmation. That's speculation. And I've seen a lot of crazy stuff today. Like people just playing videos from 2016 and trying to say something that's happening today with a video from 2016 about taxes. That is ridiculous. And I don't know why you're getting upset, Miss Behaven, because you shouldn't be upset. If you're saying that, oh, I'm so behind and I don't know that this has been proven, you'd say, oh, I'll just throw this right at you and here's the source. But I'm asking you your source and you're just saying, I'm so far behind, do my own research and do this. I've done my research. And what you guys are saying, I'm not seeing. And I think you guys want to see this, and believe me, that doesn't mean that I don't think that she belongs in prison, but I'm trying to tell you that you're not making sense here. Yeah, just because someone has a reliable source. People Magazine does that all the time now. They say they have inside sources. They do it with Chris Watts. So Chris Watts feels this way, that way, and the other way. You don't know who that is. I could call them and tell them something and be their source. Does it mean what I'm saying is true? No. Tabloids, magazines, YouTube creators are so hungry to post anything. They'll take any source, a lot of them, and say, oh yeah, I got this source. I don't know if it's true or not. It's like those people, look it up, see what you think. But, and they come with this sensational story. Now, come on. You're saying because there's some files, some court documents missing from case text, and a woman that requested a deposition of gypsies, that this somehow means what? Tell me what this means in your head. But it doesn't mean anything. I watch a lot of these videos. It doesn't make it true. I hope some of these things are true, but until it's proven, I take it with a grain of salt. Exactly, Joanne. Exactly. And for those of you who don't know this channel, I don't go out and spread stuff that's like, or just like have people jumping back and forth on like speculation and crap. I've never done that. I don't do that. And I'm just trying to figure out about Ken here, because I think, as I have done a lot of research, when I research someone, it seems like Ken has had cleanup done, intense cleanup. And I don't see this 5-year relationship. This is why I'm saying that. So does anybody, there would be a trail of this. And yes, you can say, oh, it was amicable. Oh, she gave a name. That's great. But where's the proof of a 5-year relationship? Where's all of that? Because I don't see it. And I'm not talking about watching videos. I'm talking about doing research. And it would be there. That's why I'm asking. But all you could just tell me is that's old news. Well, apparently it's not, because the things I'm seeing have been talked about again, and text messages shown again about that girlfriend in the last 24 hours. It's not old posts. It's not old videos. But you're trying to get me off that, like you just don't want, like, prove it, then show me. Show me how you know he was in a 5-year relationship. That picture of Kevin cracks me up. He looks so awkward. I think you mean Ken. In front of all those eggs. Yeah, yeah, Ken. Yeah, right. I knew what you meant. I was thinking of Kevin for a minute. His mom is TikTok. I saw stuff from his mother. When they first got together, I saw stuff from his mother. Saw that his sister was at the gender reveal. Okay? But I have heard nothing from a girlfriend. I have heard only from other people's mouths. Okay? Right, I heard the mother say something that was completely false, right? They were just friends. Nothing was going on. And that we know nothing was further from the truth as that statement. So she's a liar. Okay? So I hear a lot of talk about a girlfriend, but I'm not seeing the concrete anything that there was one. And with how jealous Gypsy is, I think if he did indeed have a 5-year relationship with another woman, she would be freaking out every time he went back to New Orleans and was away from her. And I don't see it. Oh, Gypsy is an accomplished liar. In one of her interviews for prison, she says, "This is the first time in my life I've been honest." Well, I mean, I haven't been exactly honest, not even honest with her lawyers. She wasn't even honest with her lawyers. Christine, you're right. Everything happens so fast and plays out. Plays out in a role on her reality show. But it's just like anytime I've asked about this girlfriend, I don't know why Misbehaving is like freaking out about this. She's trying to get me to drop something and to run after this court stuff. These people just... So, I mean, I'm just asking. I've been searching for this girlfriend of 5 years. Where is she? Who is she? What does she do for a living? Is she still living in Texas? What happened? Why did their relationship break up? Were they serious? Were they engaged? Did they live? Where did they live? Who owned the place? What was Ken doing for a living? Well, yeah, come on. There's so many things there. I need your discernment because I thought that the Habitat lady was real. And maybe Ken is an incel, but they have to make him seem more desirable. This makes it even more sus with her doing that. Okay, I'm back. Internet, there was a fire in the building across from me. Okay. Okay. Yes, she's still in Texas. I want to know why you believe this. Because Gypsy contacted a creator and gave a name. Can I tell you something? How do we know she's not Ken's friend? How do we know this woman whose name she gave is not Ken's friend? His beard, maybe. Do you know what that is? Do you know what a beard is? A beard is a woman that is friends with a gay man okay? And there's nothing wrong. If that's who Ken is, that's who Ken is. There's nothing wrong with that. The wrong thing would be if he was deceiving someone about that and, not telling them who he was. That would be a problem. Oh, honey, I'm not vanilla. Okay. So can I please task how you're a unicorn? Okay. So what I want to ask you is if this woman does exist, how do you know she is not a beard? That's what I'm saying. How do you know that? Where is the history of this relationship? Because I'm not finding it, and I have been looking. She's not a beard. My source is, oh my goodness. But do you understand, misbehaving? That even if somebody spoke to her, okay, here's the thing. All right, let's talk about this. Let's say I'm Ken's beard, okay? Gypsy gives my name to some content creator. That content creator calls me. If I am his beard, and now I'm going to pretend I'm his girlfriend, his ex-girlfriend. Oh, hi, content creator. Oh, did Gypsy give you my name? Okay, yeah, that's true. Ken and I, yes. We split amicably. Yes, we did. Yes, he was a great boyfriend. He's very heterosexual. Oh, yes. Yes, he's like Sunny D. He is. I'm telling you. Yeah, I loved him fiercely, and he loved me fiercely. I don't want to get into it. There are just some issues that nothing to do with the sexuality or anything, but it wasn't going to work, It was, I told him it was me, not him, and he told me it was him, not me, and we just amicably split one day, and then he got back with Gypsy. That's what your source is, okay? Is any of that true? None of that is true, okay? But certainly the source could say, well, I spoke to that woman and here's what she said. Doesn't make it fact. So I don't know what's going on here. And I don't know why you're getting like, if we're all in the here to uncover facts, you have to tell me something more about my source spoke to her. She was not a beard. Ken is bi, not gay. Okay. I just don't understand, like, why we can't talk about this. I find it odd that we cannot find anything about a 5-year relationship he supposedly had with someone. You are so off base, but okay. Just like there's no grand jury indictment coming. Okay. I'm so off base, but you can't give me concrete other than my source spoke to her. How I'm so off base. Just watch, do your research. Yeah, I don't have to watch other people's videos. I'm capable of doing my own research. And with Ken's girlfriend and a search on Ken's name and Ken's locations and all of that, I'm not pulling up anything that's directing me to a 5-year relationship. So it's not making sense. Hi Brandy, how are you? Is managing Gypsy what? Okay, like you can't believe changes are coming. Oh, I can believe changes are coming. And I can believe that she may be back in prison one day. But I don't believe it's because some woman requested her deposition. It's Christy. That's the time that NK came in acting like different people. Yeah, I don't know, like, why. I just don't know why misbehaving. You're so hostile. That's the thing. I don't understand why you're so hostile. Why so hostile? Okay. Tell me. Enlighten me why it's way more than that. Just tell me. Tell me why it's way more than that. Tell me what you think is happening. Tell me what you think is happening. You think so I don't think you understand the law. Are you saying that you believe a grand jury is getting ready to charge her with her mother's murder? Do you know what's not going to happen because she has a plea deal? I don't know what you're trying to think of. Or are you talking about a parole violation? And by parole violation, what exactly? Don't tell me to shut up. Why do you have to be so rude? You're very, very rude. Okay, here we go. Let's go. Stop telling me to shut up. That's extremely rude. Just say what you're going to say. And you don't have to be rude and hateful. There are plenty of things she can be charged with. Okay. You can answer my question. You don't have to tell me to shut up. Go ahead. Please enlighten me on what you think is going on here. Hi, Puddin'. Hi, Cato. I you know, that I've endured this much, I just wanted to hear what she thinks is happening. Okay. Because the thing is that TikTok you have a lot of people on there about this case that have never ever covered true crime before. They don't know a lot about the legal process. They don't know, and I'm not the only one saying this, they don't know about things, and yet they're taking something, or worse yet, they're saying they have a source that's telling them something, and It's nothing. We've all seen this kind of stuff before. And it's in every single case, there's always these creators that fall into this. Remember Idaho 4? Remember the fake phone calls, right? The fake phone calls that some channel had on about the mother that gave this whole accounting of what happened that morning, and it was BS. Okay? Every case has this. And you have a lot of unethical creators that entertain it. And TikTok is a breeding ground for it. So, let's see what she's going to say. Okay, because it's easy to tell me I missed this huge thing, right? Ham hair? Ham hair? Okay, I'm going to show you something. Hang on a minute. Hang on a moment. And it always gets me like crazed when people can't just talk. You could have a difference of opinion, but you don't have to treat somebody with like total disrespect and tell them to shut up and, you know, this, that, and the other thing. If you can't have a conversation, a civil conversation, that says more about you. Okay. So here's what people are going, okay? So somebody said, I've been seeing all morning about CaseNet not having Gypsy's case up anymore, which is making people question if there are going to be federal charges coming. This person said, I did Google it, and that could be a reason why. I'm just skeptical for obvious reasons. Bree, that's Gypsy's friend, was on a live, supposedly reading texts from Gypsy's lawyer. And she said CaseNet isn't working apparently, only specifically only Gypsy's case. I heard Bree also say the judge was tired of getting requests from the case. That's not even a thing. Now, here's the thing. How many of you have said Bree is a liar? Right? But now you want to believe Bree, or you don't want to believe Bree. It's like, it's crazy that that's not even a thing. Just wondering if you all are thinking things, and if I missed something. The TikTok lives were crazy this morning. Of course the TikTok lives are crazy this morning because these creators are earning big, giant bucks on TikTok with little videos about these sensational things that are not proven, that are probably, I would say, not even true, but create a frenzy about it, get people to watch it, earn that money, laugh all the way to the bank. So, someone said if you've been checking her CaseNet, there was a woman named Amanda that requested her deposition. That's what I just said to Misbehavin'. It was mailed earlier in the week. Before, when you would check for Gypsy Blanchard on CaseNet, 3 things would come up. One of them being her second-degree murder charge. which everyone could see updates, etc., which is also where we could see that Amanda was mailed that. Now if you search it, the second-degree charge is gone. From what I have gathered, that doesn't just happen for shite and giggles. They don't take it down because she's a celebrity or because she's gaining a lot of attention. All I know for sure. Now, listen to this one, okay? This woman knows for sure. Now, just listen to the wording here, guys. Come on. All I know for sure is something is happening. Whether it's perjury or fraud, I believe something is coming for Gyp, and it's not going to make her happy. Well, you just said you knew it for sure. Now you believe something's happening. Okay. Someone says, I'm trying to be optimistic. It does make sense if something is going on. I think Gypsy said in her last live that they're doing a family camping thing. Yeah, it's a family reunion. I wonder if it was planned on purpose. Okay, so then I really hope she goes back to jail, someone says. I've usually tried to give people the benefit of the doubt. When she got out of prison, I believed her story. I haven't done that much research. I've only seen the HBO documentary. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. Maybe she'll live a nice, quiet life. But once she said that the D was fire, I was like, yeah, no, something's wrong with this biatch. If she had just shut her mouth and stayed off social media for the most part and lived a quiet life, just selling her dumb book, she could have not been so hated. Okay, I haven't seen one bit of proof here, okay, and just a lot of speculation. Maybe they're finally charging her for mailing that knife over the state lines, which is federal. I don't know if there's a statute of limitations on that, but they should have charged her with that in the beginning. Someone said maybe not. Sure. Now they're, yeah, so this is just going like a bunch of teenagers that want so badly for something to happen. You're going to look and explain every single thing is working towards what you want. Okay, it's certainly, now listen to this one. It certainly has been taken down for a reason. Right? That reason is just speculation for the time being. Okay, thank you. I'm not going to believe anything until it happens. Good idea. I read it could also be for modification of her parole as well, which could go to Gypsy's benefit. Or not. Who knows just yet. Good idea. Okay. Someone said, I think people have seen her get away with so much that they just don't get too excited about it. I immediately thought they're setting something up, as in the Blanchards. But really, when it comes to the courts, I can't see them taking it down because of her popularity. And why would it be only Gypsy's case net not working? So that does lead me to believe something's shaking. Ugh. I don't know, but it'll probably be the same thing as the last 9 months she's been free. Absolutely nothing. Okay. So, misbehaving, this is exactly what it is. They're talking about the case net. Now, that is nothing but speculation. And you tell me what I'm missing here. Oh, that your source says someone you've spoken to, or someone you know is spoken to, or a TikTok video that you watched where someone said they spoke to someone. Well, let me tell you something about a guy named Larry. A guy named Larry came to YouTube. Larry, I believe his name was. And he was somebody that was over here with a big, loud mouth, okay? Clanging in my lives. Being really, really rude and a know-it-all. And he said he had an insider. You know where the insider was, he said? The insider was in the DA's office in Colorado. And in that office, that insider knew Nicole Kessinger was going to be arrested. He had inside information. And if you could just donate right now, we are going to erect a billboard about her imminent arrest. Please give with your hearts and souls so we can bring justice. You know what, Misbehaving? I called BS on it because it's exactly what it was. And guess what? Mr. Larry had to go. I think he did Oliver, he did the tearful plea. I keep getting him mixed up with that other guy in Australia about that SA stuff. But I think, yeah, he gave a tearful plea that he was full of crap. There was no insider in the DA's office. He'd been sitting down, pumping these large crowds of people up with gas, because that's all it was. Donations, everything going out the yin-yang for a billboard that would never be erected, for an arrest that would never come, because none of it was true. All right, so this is not my first, second, third, fourth, or fifth rodeo. There's always these people involved in these cases. Okay, so and now let me see what Misbehaving's been saying, because I missed it. I know the file disappeared. Okay, let me see what she's been saying while I've been going over this stuff that makes no sense. We found out why this morning. Okay, found out why through their insider. I don't do TikTok. Okay. Read my messages. I'm telling you everything you asked. No, you haven't told me how you know. You haven't told me how you know. And if you're going to tell me because someone spoke to a source, I'm going to call BS. Okay? So if that's what you have, that's not anything. Misbehaving, you aren't telling us anything. They're just making a quick buck. Exactly. They're making a quick buck. I'll read my email. I will. Let me go read my email. I didn't silence you. Please don't silence her. I know it can be tempting, but I was reading Let Her Speak because I really do want to hear what this is. Because if we don't let her speak, she's going to say we didn't let her speak. So let her speak. I don't care. Let her be rude to me. It's okay. I have a thick skin. I know my worth. I typed way more than that. I do not keep putting you in timeout, and I'm not going to do. I said I've asked no one to do it now. I want you to put out what you want, but I can't keep going in circles. Just put it down. No one's timing you out. Why don't you just put it in the email? I'm not giving her any link. I'm not giving her any link. I just want to know what the source is. All I want to know. You said you found out this morning. What did you find out this morning? Something through a source that spoke to someone, or really concrete facts? Thanks, Kate. Misbehaving, do you know if I wanted to make a quick buck, I could sit here every night with fake insiders and fake sources and tell you stuff's coming down the pipeline and someone's confirming it. Gypsy's going back to jail. Something big is coming up, guys. I'm telling ya. She's going back. And make these little videos with catchy thumbnails. Okay? And they'd get tens of thousands of hits. And people, it's easy. It's easy to be unethical. It's easy to be a liar on these streets. It's easy for someone to do that. It takes way more to try to report things factually. The host is right here, Jeep Girl. Jeannie. Jeannie's talking about life. How you doing? I'm right here. You don't recognize my voice anymore? Then I knew that it was complete BS when she hooked up with the Kardashians. Yeah, Kardashians. These Kardashians. Right? And then they wonder why they're getting a cease and desist. Right. Over and over, I typed tons of stuff. Hit send, told the timeout. I explained everything twice. And my messages weren't going through. Hence why I emailed you. Hence why I'm being salty. Charges are coming. Okay. Okay. Now, misbehaving, you said that already, that charges are coming. And the only thing I'm asking you is what are you basing that on? Are you basing that on someone saying that they spoke to a insider, a source? Is that what it is based on? Or do you have real facts? Because NK has been imminently being arrested for the past 6 years. And you know what? She's not. And I've said it countless times that my friend Shanann's mother left no stone unturned. Do you think she wouldn't have wanted that woman fully prosecuted if there was anything that could have tied her to the murders of her daughter and her grandkids? Be real. You don't think she made sure that every I was dotted, every T was crossed? But still, people don't believe. And you will still have creators out here. There's some right now that are saying the same thing that was said 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago. Billboards are coming. She's getting arrested. There's new evidence. None of it is true. None of it. And all this stuff that these creators are saying about Chris Watts coming from Dylan, who's trying to make a freaking buck on the same stuff and acting like it's new? Come on. I am just shocked at some of the creators that are putting out that garbage. Hello, Scooter. So I'll ask again, misbehaving. What is your source? Because what you're telling me is the same thing I hear from Larry about the insider and the billboard and the imminent arrest that never, ever, ever, ever happened. I heard they have to go to the courthouse to get the file. They couldn't do it. And Mel, that was the latest rumor I heard. I mean, it's a slow news day for some of these creators because there was a video played from 2016 about some offshore thing and taxes that I don't even think even any of the people that were listening to it even understood what the heck it was. I don't even think the person that put it up there understood what it was, but was trying to link it to something in order to have like breaking news about something that was a much to do about nothing. I mean, this is what it's become. No, she emailed me and said she was silenced. That's what she said, but there was nothing about who this source is, where this information is coming from. Wait, you didn't do what this time? Did you time her out again, Scooter? You timed her out? Just let her talk, because if you don't let her talk, she's going to say that she was going to give the proof, and we didn't let her. Because I haven't seen one iota of the proof. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. She hasn't once answered that question. This is what she does for her attention. I hear you, little lady. So, it's raining. Tomorrow, I have an interview at 2 o'clock with Ricardo. And he started a business, but he made some mistakes. And then he wrote a book to hopefully help others. And we're going to speak at 2 o'clock. I thought it was today, but it was tomorrow. Today. It is today now. It's tomorrow. You know what I mean. You knew what I mean. 2 o'clock. No, I was being facetious. Oh, I don't know what you said, but I missed what you said. What did you say that was making you facetious? I can't even speak tonight. Facetious. Was it feasible for you to be facetious, or was it non-feasible for you to be facetious? You know who was here last night? Alicia Nelson, Debbie 2 Scooter, and she asked about you, but you were not around. Oh my goodness. I think we've lost misbehaving, huh? I think we lost misbehaving. Forget about it. Forget about it. I love you all. We love you too, Pink. So, Evelyn didn't say hello to me tonight. Evelyn, you didn't say hello to me tonight. Maybe she did. I didn't see it. I don't know. I might have missed it. I might have missed it. Okay, so she probably jumped on another live trying to get them to take that bait. Okay, so, all right, yeah. You know what? Hold on a minute. I'm going to look at something myself here. Hold on a moment. Okay. Okay. So, what is case text? Case text covers federal case law, state case law, federal and state statutes, and much more. Its case analysis research assistance, CARA, can help analyze this information as well. Although case text has searchable secondary sources, it can be somewhat limited. Okay, let me see here. I'm trying to see something. No. Okay, so somebody said, case text has too limited a context window for LLM powered extraction and sorting beyond a handful of documents. It won't handle that many items at once. If you're using case text as a substitute for staff that you would otherwise give the ambiguous, put these PDFs in chronological order things instruction to, you're going to have a bad time. Okay. Did you possibly think that it could have been, okay, case text, removal guide, quickly remove records. It's easy to remove casetext.com links from Google search engines. We've outlined how to do it if you're dealing with other types of negative search results or need some guidance on managing your online presence. Schedule a time to speak. Removing a case text listing from search results. Upon request, case text will block cases and opinion articles from search engines. This means that although the information will still exist on case text, it will no longer show up in any Google search results. Okay, and they tell you how to do that. And then let's see here. Okay, let me see something here. Okay, hang on a second. Okay. Hold on a minute. I'm just looking up something. All right. Let me go over here for 1 minute. Okay, and I guess everybody that is using this, right, has a paid account. Probably not. Excuse me. Okay, hang on 1 second here. Okay, what is this? Okay, let's look at this, okay? I don't think any of you, maybe some of you have seen this, some of you may not have seen this. News release. Greene County Prosecuting Attorney Dan Patterson. For immediate release, Gypsy Blanchard pleads guilty to murder of her mother. Springfield, Missouri. Greene County Prosecuting Attorney Dan Patterson announced that Gypsy Rose Blanchard, 24 years old, of Springfield, Missouri, entered a guilty plea to an amended charge of murder in the second degree for acting with Nicholas Godejohn to murder Gypsy's mother, Claudine Blanchard. Under the plea agreement, Gypsy Blanchard was sentenced today to a 10-year sentence in the Missouri Department of Corrections, and probation was denied. Because murder in the second degree is a dangerous felony under Missouri law, Ms. Blanchard will have to serve 85% of her sentence before she can be considered for parole. Greene County Prosecuting Attorney Dan Patterson explained that while the evidence in this case clearly established that Gypsy Blanchard was guilty of murder and that the murder was neither justifiable nor excusable, the amended charge and 10-year sentence fairly and justly hold Gypsy Blanchard accountable to the law while also taking into account the extreme mitigating circumstances of the nearly 2 decades of systematic and purposeful abuse of Gypsy Blanchard by her mother to facilitate her mother's fraudulent schemes. Now, this doesn't mention Munchausen's by proxy. Have you noticed that? Hancock was the lead investigator assigned to the case. Let's see here. Okay, so the breaking news when Gypsy, July 5th of 2016, about a year after the murders, Gypsy Blanchard pled guilty to second-degree murder in the killing of her mother, Dee Dee Blanchard. By doing so, she will avoid a trial. The plea agreement with prosecutors calls for a 10-year prison sentence. In this case, investigators uncovered Dee Dee had been able to convince people for years that her daughter suffered from several conditions that made her wheelchair-bound. These revelations had a significant impact on the plea agreement worked out between the prosecutor and the Blanchard's defense team. 10 years is the minimum sentence for second-degree murder under Missouri law. As a Class A felony, it carries a 10 to 30-year sentence. Gypsy will have to serve at least 85% of the sentence before she's eligible for parole. On April 13, 2016, Gypsy Blanchard's attorneys elected not to use an insanity defense in this case. Gypsy was charged for allegedly helping Nicholas Godejohn in a plot to kill her mother last June. Attorney Mike Stanfield, a member of the defense team for Gypsy, discussed her plea of guilty in Greene County Court today, and Stanfield told reporters that Gypsy had been abused by her mother. It's the best outcome for her, the state of Missouri, and everyone involved. Stanfield said Gypsy has gained more than 10 pounds since her arrest and has healthier-looking skin. Had this case gone to trial, Greene County prosecuting attorney Dan Patterson said his office would have proved beyond a reasonable doubt that Gypsy accompanied her boyfriend, Nicholas Godejohn, at the scene of this crime and discussed the plot extensively with him over text and social media. Gypsy's defense team did not say if her plea is contingent upon her providing information in the prosecution of Godejohn, but the defense says the evidence in this case was like none other, and the agreement reached is indicative of the way the prosecutor and defense feel about Gypsy suffering at the hands of Dee Dee. Godejohn is currently scheduled to stand trial in November. Trying to get back to the chat. Okay. Did she put anything else in here? Did she ever answer? Let me see. I don't think she ever answered. Okay, well, she hasn't been hidden, and it doesn't look like she answered. Bad time to come. Okay, I'm trying to go back here. She has not once answered the question. Okay. She probably jumped. Okay, another thing. Okay. I can't type. Debbie Scooter, I figured that what you did. Big hugs. I was hoping you knew, little lady. What are you hoping she knew? Little lady, I said hi to you first. I hit the wrong key and was all discombobulated. Okay. Doxing Ken's girlfriend takes the focus off of Gypsy. Right, and if that's even his girlfriend or it's a decoy. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about it then. She didn't come with the facts. She came with the speculations. But anyway, I'm going to go to bed. I'm tired. I've got an interview tomorrow. I hope that you guys can make it around 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock. And see you guys. I can't believe we're on Labor Day weekend. I want to bang my head against the wall because this can't be happening. Okay. I love you guys. Oh, wait. Before we go, let's do the daily. Let's do the daily. Right, Emmy. I'll do it when I get off here, Sharon, don't worry. Who's getting a job? Who needs a job? Who's doing a job? Who will get the job? What is Scooter talking about? What is Scooter talking about? I don't know what she's talking about. Not that interview. I have an interview with the author. Scooter, come on. Okay. Remix, okay. And remixed, right, Bud? Okay. There's no K. Joanne. Married. Okay. Merde. Merde. No. Okay. Diane. Okay. I tried that high 61. No. It's okay, Joanne. Good try. Good try. Come on, one more, guys, and then we get to go to bed. Dexy? Come on, Eileen. Dexy's Midnight Runners. That's why, just as soon as you said Dexy, isn't that the way our minds work? Like, I wouldn't even think of that. Like, if you said, who's saying, come on, Eileen, I would have been like, what? I don't know. And then, but as soon as it said Dexy, I don't know, I just thought about, come on, and then I realized Dexy's Midnight Runners. It's just useless information that was there. I didn't even know it. And I just accessed that. Isn't that crazy? Come on, Eileen, but you're dirty. Come on, Eileen. Come on. Murex. I think I tried that. Let me see. Nope. Okay, how about Ryder? Do we have... No, we don't have that. Come on, Eileen. Dyer, no. E-I-D-E-R. E-I-D-E-R. Yay! Thank you, Margo. Alright. Gotta go. Gotta go to get that sleep. All right, guys. I love you guys. God bless. Prayers. Be good. Have a good one. I love you. And we'll see you tomorrow. Please watch the interview. Keep thinking tomorrow's Saturday. Please. Thank you. Bye.